It is Weather Impact Live.
Woohoo!
Lee Southwick, the meteorologist Lee Southwick over here.
Hey, well, the meteorologist Robert Speta and traffic expert.
Oh, yeah, this morning I did traffic.
Filled in on traffic.
And there was an accident. Somebody tipped over a vehicle in the Acosta this morning, and it was full of, like, grills. And there was grills scattered.
Like barbecued grills?
Yeah, like $1,000 big grill that you would have outside.
Did you go pick one up?
Just for saying.
Nice.
I saw that there was a bunch of wreckers there. I think they were looking at them. They had to like pick them all up off the road. Like the guy just took the turn too fast and fell over.
Well, if you're looking for a grill, there's probably a couple on discount now. They fell
Apparently,
out. There's probably a few dents in it.
You go to Home Depot and there's like an 80% off one. You're like, this one's got a couple dents in it.
I mean, already it should be discounted because it's post 4th of July weekend. Towards the end of summer, we get the end of summer discount. Now you get one that fell off a truck, but still works.
Do grills have like a post-holiday discount?
I feel like they would.
You buy a Christmas tree on December 26th, it's like 90% off.
I do see like towards the end of summer, like they'll put out like Adirondack chairs on discount. Like some just like more typical summer, like summer used things.
I'll sit in an Adirondack chair in December. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, because we live in July. Sorry, my hair is doing something so weird.
Oh, yeah?
It's like really bothering me. If everyone's wondering why I'm touching my hair. We will because we live in Florida, but I think generally speaking, on a national level, these stores are like, put them on discount. And I'm like, I will buy it.
Sit in the snow, let it coat on you in the front yard in your Adirondack chair.
I mean, I would never, but that's why I live here.
Yeah. That's fair. That's why we all live here. And that's why the number one headline today for what's coming up is it's hot.
Hot.
It's hot.
It's actually getting hotter. Can you believe that?
Oh. We also had some severe storms, not here on the First Coast, but we're going to take a look around the nation, and we're going to talk about the tropics. We got a couple things going on in the Atlantic. Not anything active, but some interesting weather phenomena. And then also a Cat 5 on the other side of the world that technically made landfall in the United States.
You have quite a crazy video of that Cat 5.
Yeah,
too, so.
well, yeah, it's a video from inside of the eye wall of this thing. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. First, let's talk about it's hot.
Our favorite graphic. I'm thumbsing up the hot.
You're thumbsing up the hot.
Just love how hot it is.
I'm just pointing at it as if like I'm really doing something here.
Hot. That's on the green screen. We just go hot.
That's how I do it.
Hot.
On some days when it's just dry and sunny, that is the best graphic because it gets the point across.
Yep.
Hot.
You're
welcome.
This is exactly like I was like, no one needed us to tell them that, but you're welcome. But just how hot how hot the air temperature is, to how hot the feels like temperature is, the heat index. Those are both big stories.
Oh, look at that. 103. Now, today we could have some isolated showers out there to bring some relief from the heat, but I think the bigger topic continues to be the heat itself.
I also feel like that model is underdoing it. I was seeing stuff that we were up to 107 today for a feels like temperature. So it's
combine it with the humidity, it's going to feel that way. And you even see the extreme dangerous heat in a few spots around Clay and Putnam County. By the way,
I was thinking some of those inland spots away from the breeze, and like you said, not a whole lot of rain, like you said too.
Yeah, 'cause if we had the rain, it would be a little one cloud cover, 2 evaporative cooling. 3 is the risk levels at extreme heat warning, the purple, kind of indicating that little to no relief. And I think that's the other thing. Overnight, we're only staying into the mid 70s here, so your body doesn't have time to cool down. It's just this. It just keeps at it, and then we have several days of this extreme heat, so it is just way too warm out there.
Oh, that poor person.
I'm sorry, I laugh at it. I'm a horrible person. I see the guy and I just like, bro, go inside, do something. Don't just bend over in the middle of the field and go
bake your back. Find the shade. You didn't give him any shade on the graphic. There's no tree.
It's his fault for standing there. He just gives up and just bends over in the middle of the field. And it's like he's T-bone over here. He's got his he's doing his little thing, Well,
remember, that is what happens to us if we don't take the proper precautions. We don't stay hydrated. We don't find the breaks in the shade, wherever that shade may be, or the AC, even better, the AC.
I was watching the stream yesterday because that's what I do on my days off. I watch this stream, and I think that's what all of you should be doing. So
obsessed with us. No, I'm just kidding.
And well, I was obsessed with Lou and his angry story. He said he was overheating and he got angry at Publix.
I thought you were about to say his singing that he.
Oh, I heard him doing the Mambo No. 5, naming off the different hurricanes.
The different names. So, but yeah, I mean, it's true. He's not alone. I also get very irritable when it's too hot outside. Yeah,
I feel ya. It's just like...
So we need to put an angry face on that person. You know the emoji, like the red face is angry?
So he's like on his knees, but churned and looking at the camera and just...
Yeah, that's what we need. Can we add that next time? Let's do that.
On GMJ this morning, they were kind of picking on my my sound I make whenever I go outside in this heat, which is always just... like you just grunt. You're just... Like it's just like walking into that furnace. Maybe if I wasn't wearing a suit, it wouldn't feel so bad. Some light colored clothing. I don't have any light colored suits either. Frequent breaks, less alcohol and less caffeine, which I'm not doing that.
You're just the amount of coffee you drink. This man drinks a lot of coffee.
5 cups today. Hot coffee.
No wonder you're sweating out there. Like. Iced
I'm
coffee
still
might
so
help.
tired.
Iced coffee, not only is it cooler and more refreshing, but then the ice melts, and then you actually get a little bit of water.
Yeah. Coffee's got water in it. Basically.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
It's to seek activities inside the air conditioning, but let's all give a little love to our air conditioners. I hear mine outside, and I'm like, man, I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You just know it's working so hard.
What do you keep your temperature, your house temperature?
I keep it lately around 75 to 76.
Okay, good for you. Yeah. I keep my house at 76.
Yeah.
And I know the recommended is 78, so I am going to recommend that to all of you. Do as I say, not as I do. Because 78 it's better for our systems, for your money, for for the environment, it's better for everything. I can't quite do 78.
I turn it up to about 78 at night.
What?
Yeah, I
turn it down to 75 because of that extra degree for sleeping.
I feel a little silly using a blanket when it's like 90 degrees outside. So I always turn it up a little bit, and I just don't use a blanket.
You're the first person. I think that's great, but you're the first person I've heard of turning it hotter at night. Most people need it cold to sleep, and so I know people who don't care and crank it down to 68 at night. Yeah.
Oh wow. No,
which I also don't recommend. Better for your wallet, better for your system, better for the environment.
Interesting. So. No, I'd rather sleep hot.
Are we streaming on Facebook? I want to take a poll. I want to know what people
poll?
do.
Yeah, let's find out.
Are you okay sleeping hot, or do you have to turn it down a couple of degrees at night?
I wonder if I'm. Our director said absolutely not turn it down. Wow.
Make it cold. Yeah, truly, you're the first person I've heard of.
I wonder if my wife and son secretly hate me for this. They're like, why is it get so hot at night?
They'd be grumpy because, like we talk about, we're grumpy when we're hot usually. But okay, we are streaming on Facebook, so let us know.
I want to hear. Your side of this.
I'm gonna post it right now on my page.
Somebody has to agree with me. We got heat advisories in place for some coastal areas of southeast Georgia, which, by the way, Clay and Putnam County probably will be hotter. But the issue is that those heat advisories are a little bit of a lower threshold for parts of southeast Georgia versus northeast Florida. So even though it's hotter, it's just not quite as up to that warning level here. And as we look ahead over the upcoming week, Sorry, excuse me.
Is that the noise you make when you walk outside?
That's it. 107 to 108 to 109.
That's the noise I make when I accidentally eat a raw onion.
Just over here chewing on onions.
Ew, I hate onions.
You're pulling
raw ones.
Oh, goodness. And then vegetables, I guess. Oh, man.
You don't like vegetables?
I love vegetables.
Oh, okay.
I just never ate a raw onion.
No, not like, oh my gosh. I mean, like when people like chop up raw onions and put them on burgers or tacos or
I'm like, I know I'm weird because I turn up the AC at night, but I'm not biting into an onion. That's how I stay cool.
Because everyone stays away from
magical onion breath as well.
No, please let it be known I do not just have ever bitten into a raw
I understand
onion
what
for
you're
fun.
getting at now. Like you put it on things.
Yeah, when it's like I get it like a restaurant and it comes on whatever I've ordered.
All right, take a look at the 7-day forecast here on the First Coast. It is hot, and that is the number one thing.
Cook your onions. Lay them out on the sidewalk. And
just hot coffee and onions.
Ew. My stomach literally hurts thinking about that. We're scaring away everyone. But yes, no, in all seriousness, these temperatures, I mean, it is possible that we will have places on the First Coast hit that 100-degree mark for the actual air temperature at the end of this week.
We haven't hit 100 since last July, last year.
So we'll see if we get it done this year. I mean, either way, though, 98, 99, 100, it's all brutal. Our body's not going to be like, 2-degree difference. Thank goodness.
Nah.
It barely does that.
Like, your body doesn't go, well, we hit triple digits.
So now I'm mad.
Now I'm going to get
98 degrees. Oh, that breeze.
But, on the flip side of things is he is also spawning up some strong thunderstorms up north. And especially there around New Jersey, New York, coastal areas. It's been pretty wild the last few days. I want to show you a couple videos. First, let's go out of New York where we had some flooding out there, specifically on Long Island. And, water level rises. You're seeing the vehicles trying to drive through this area. In fact, some spots there on Long Island got about 4 to 6 inches. Which is a lot of rain, especially for an urban area. And turn around, don't drown, right? I know sometimes you just kind of have to go through it, but I drive a Mini Cooper. That's going to be tough. Maybe the Protector could get through these waters pretty well. Oh, and also the other thing right here, and this is just a little tidbit for like when we get like those high tides in St. Augustine and places like that around here. Try not to blast through it like that because you know what you're doing? You're creating a wake.
Yeah, look at that perfect wake right there. Oh, I bet the bus will have a big wake too.
They're like, yeah, but if you have a building right there, or let's say unfortunately your car is parked there, it's just gonna flood it.
This was a big problem when I was working in New Orleans and the neighborhoods would flood, which happens actually a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
But cars would drive down the roads and it would create a wake into people's homes.
Yeah.
They would come up through the front door and go inside.
That's what I was kind of getting at because I've seen that in St. Augustine when we get like those king tides and people just blast through there and like, come on, guys.
I've also seen it in San Marco where they've created a wake and so while their yard was mostly okay, then the wake comes and it just covers their whole yard, takes out the flower bed, just be
mindful.
Mindful, exactly. Can
I
interrupt you really fast?
Do we have answers to our poll?
We have, so Angela says, I have no AC. I have my ceiling fan and 3 box fans on the side of my bed to sleep. 3, absolutely, you're going to need all 3 of those.
Well.
Did you hear what Jackson said? Yeah, so he said, for everyone watching, it's more about the active airflow rather than the temperature.
Get that you got a window open and the breeze coming through.
So he agrees with Angela. And Andra just said, everyone stay safe with this heat, which we couldn't agree with more.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I just wanted to get that out there.
No, I appreciate it.
We noticed your comments. We thank you for commenting.
If you're taking the time to comment on this video, we're going to answer back. So thank you so much for doing that. We appreciate the engagement.
Yeah. And that rain would cool us down, but we don't want that much rain, and we don't have enough rain though.
Too much rain. I don't even know what happened here. Let's go over to New Jersey because have you seen this video out of the BJ's?
No.
Oh no, this gets worse. And look at this.
Oh no!
Roof collapse.
That I was about to ask how that happened.
Right there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and when it and we don't have this video here, but we used it in the show this morning. When it collapsed, I think all the water it didn't drain off of the roof. So the roof basically turned into a swimming pool, and it collapsed all at once.
And then all of that water went inside.
And that's why it's so damaged. So it all collapsed, and there's security camera of just a tsunami going through the BJ's.
Oh my goodness!
It's just wild. Yeah, I think there's a fire alarm going off there. So there's that.
Does that mean if the fire alarm's going off, are sprinklers also going off? Just
right?
Adding?
Maybe. Just wild stuff. Now this is separate. We're going to come back to that video in a minute. That was not at the BJ's. Yeah, just wild. I mean, this is what happens when you get a lot of rain and you're not taking care of the gutters and things like that, especially if you have a flat roof. Yeah, I agree. I think he said the store fell down. Yeah. So this is part of it. Actually, let's go back to our graphics and just take a look at some of these reports. I mean, we had all these heavy rainfall reports, going to give you a good idea of where this was. And there's this one spot, the roadway being flooded there. Let me see if I can. I thought I had one here that showed. Where'd it go? Well, a lot of this is cars stuck in the floodwaters. I thought I had this damage report. It was pretty wild, just saying BJ's roof damaged by it. But look at this. I mean, 4, 3, nearly 5 inches of rainfall in the same area. So a lot of rain out here with just thunderstorms too. And that's what happened. And I say just thunderstorms because I didn't mean it it was it wasn't a tropical system or anything like that. We don't have anything out there in the tropics right now, but what we do have, and here on the first coast, you may have noticed it this morning, the sunrise is a little muted. Mm-hmm. A little hazy. A
little hazy out there.
Little.
Which is an okay thing. Because of the Saharan dust.
Because of the Saharan dust.
So, while our sky might be a little muted, it's keeping the tropics a little muted as well.
I see what you did there. Muted, but if you do have allergies or itchy eyes, it might also have something to do with that as well. But the good news, that dry air does suppress a lot of the tropical activity out here. So even though it is early July, what do you consider July 7th, mid-July, we don't have anything. You know what happened though 5 years ago today here on the first coast?
I do. I don't want to ruin it for everyone else.
No,
think about it. 5 years ago today.
Disney character.
Yep. Great hint.
Great hint. And now you thought about it, it's Elsa. Hurricane Elsa, or tropical storm when it came here. We had multiple tornadoes. I actually should have pulled up one of those because we had security camera of one in Duval County.
Wow.
Stuff flying around. We had one in Camden County, and these were EF1, EF2s.
That's one of the scariest parts of these tropical systems when they come through and you're like, oh, okay, it's not going to be a direct landfall. We're prepared, but we're not, evacuating or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, not just one tornado, multiple tornadoes.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those situations that came on shore around the Big Bend area, and we just had the rain bands wrap around. So it wasn't a tight core, but it was just these bands, a lot of rotation in it, and it just spawned up multiple tornadoes. Think of remember Ian had a lot of tornadoes south of the, or to the right front quadrant. It was that to a lesser extent with it. You know what else was kind of interesting, though, with it, was that it was the first time the entire weather team, and at that time it was me, Tim, Mike, Michaela, and Lauren here, and it was the first time the whole weather team was together after the pandemic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
but we all
had to be distanced.
Yeah, we all still had to be like 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
So it was just awkward the whole time. But we were all here together. We were just trying not to, give each other a disease. Yeah.
I was not like in Elsa, but I was in St. Pete.
Yeah.
So we were on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And it was a dream vacation of mine. The Don Cesar is this beautiful pink hotel on St. Pete Beach. I'd wanted to go there since I was literally like a baby, a kid, because my grandparents lived there when I was a kid. And so finally, I planned this trip. Hurricane. Whole hotel shuts down. We have to stay in our rooms. Never got to really experience the hotel, but we were laughing because it was like my husband and I were celebrating an anniversary, and we're like, well, how else would two meteorologists celebrate an anniversary rather than in a hurricane, I guess.
Right? That sounds like a awesome time, actually.
We were definitely like at the window like, ooh. And also just really quick for our viewers, for our other friendly weather nerds, you mentioned the front right quadrant. That is the area of a hurricane that is most common for tornadoes. And so when we say front right, just whatever direction it's going. So if it's going north, at least for me, front right on your side over here. If it's going, say, west, and it was going to make landfall in Fernandina Beach, no, let's bring it south. So if it was heading west and it made landfall in St. Augustine, the front right quadrant would be Jacksonville, Fernandina Beach. Just making sure I'm picturing that correctly. Just like a little friendly tidbit about that, how more tornadoes are more common in the front right quadrant of a tropical system.
I thought I had a graphic explaining this, but I don't think I do. But yeah, sometimes it's called the dirty side, the right side, the east side.
Right,
really
and definitely
depends.
the front too, because if you think about it, that's where the friction is when it's making landfall too. So if it like collides there, all that friction, it's going to happen. And
now there's this one, which it doesn't matter which side you're on. That is a super typhoon with 150 mile per hour winds, 919 millibars, cruising towards the west at about 20 miles per hour. But that is Super Typhoon Bavi, which, by the way, just passed over these islands. Which, if you remember back in April, of course, we were tracking out here. Sinlaku, that damaged saipan. Well, this one tracked right over the island of Rota, right there, where they actually had an extreme wind warning, because this is part of the United States. So the National Weather Service is located there on Guam, and they put out an extreme wind warning for, get this, 150 mile per hour sustained winds. Sustained winds. So it's like, think of like a severe thunderstorm warning, where usually they're like 50 miles per hour. It was for 150 miles per hour. They said, treat this as if a big, like literally in the description, they said, treat this as if a big tornado was passing over the island right now.
And and when you think about sustained too, okay, so 150, okay, it's a hurricane. A lot of people experience those strong winds as gusts.
Yeah.
But sustained it's constant.
Well, we have a video of it.
Yeah, let's take a look at the video too. But just sort of imagine, okay, some trees can stay standing in a gust, but when you talk about sustained, it's just, that's when roofs really go. Like it's that constant pressure, that constant wind.
I mean, it's consistent. And this lasted for a few hours, and they went through the eye, and then they got the backside. And from what I've heard, the backside was even worse.
Gosh, that video is so scary.
And I appreciate this person. They sent it to me. But at the same time, I kind of am like, back out of there, like,
yeah,
because if you look closely, you can see little things flying.
Yeah,
and if you get hit by like a piece of wood at 150 miles per hour, it's not going to feel good.
It could potentially even be deadly.
Yeah, exactly. Just wild stuff right there, wild stuff, and that's what it was like inside of this Category 5 at the time, super typhoon. And, by the way, and so this technically it's the United States. Guam, the Mariana Islands, part of the United States. The second major hurricane equivalent to make landfall, because the other one made landfall in Saipan. This one made landfall in Rota. So and both were Cat 4, Cat 5s. Now it's heading off towards the west, though, with some likely impacts there across the southern Japanese islands, maybe northern areas of Taiwan. We only have a few minutes left here. I do want to leave you with this, though. I thought this was kind of interesting. Today is a holiday in Japan.
It is.
And it's a very...
You just told me the whole story about it. So interesting.
It's fun. As a meteorologist, I worked in Japan for like 10 years. It's a very high-stress holiday. It's Tanabata. And basically, it's the star-crossed lovers. There's these two, basically a common guy and a queen, and they could never see each other because their families were like, hey, you can't meet up. But once a year on July 7th, they meet up at the Milky Way. They're up in the stars, right? And they meet up at the Milky Way. And if they meet up, your wishes, because you write your wishes on a little bamboo tree, they come true.
And then you said if it's cloudy,
yeah.
They can't meet.
They can't meet.
You can't see the Milky Way. You can't see the stars.
That's why it's a high-stress holiday.
Yeah, that sounds real tough. Not a cloud in the sky.
Everybody wants their wishes to come true, and they want the lovers to meet up there in the sky. Did
you look at it? Is Japan going to have a clear sky tonight?
At least Tokyo's going to have some clear skies. And that typhoon's still offshore, so
good.
Some nice, so if you go outside tonight.
Happy holiday. What did you say it was called?
Tanabata.
I'm not going to try to say that.
Yeah,
I don't want to mess it up live on a stream. I'll try when I'm not live.
Also, it's Lee has a story coming up on the show this evening about stars.
Yes. So, we had briefly talked about this in another stream, but the dog days of summer has to do with one star within a constellation. And it's more about dog days of summer, how long they last, why that star is called that name, where it comes from, where it is in the sky, when it rises and sets, all of that good stuff. But get to know the real meaning of the dog days of summer. That 7-day looks like the dog days of summer.
Too hot. It gets to that point where it's so hot out, I just grunt. I keep on catching myself doing that, just like, ugh.
I hear you at your desk. You take a sip of coffee, you go,
That's different. That's me just trying to stay awake.
Same thing then when you walk outside, though.
Oh, goodness. So make sure you're staying cool out there. Maybe supplement the coffee with water, and I should take that advice. I'm going to try. And
get you some water.
Apparently, maybe I should try turning down my AC at night as well.
No. What you're doing is good for the environment, so and good for your wallet. So you stay with it.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a great day.